Hi everyone, welcome back to the Alpha Primus channel. Today we are looking at Transformers Age of the Primes Leader Class Onyx Prime. I really have been looking forward to this guy a lot. He looked really cool, and yeah, so this has been quite, this actually arrived really early. We ordered him along with Alpha Trion, Skydive and Firefly, as well as Micronus. But then he came up on In-Demand Toys as being released now. So I've cancelled him off that order, and Nathan already had the money anyway. So I was like, right, okay, Nathan, sorry, excuse me. Would you like him now? He said yes. So we ordered him separately. Didn't cost us anything else. In-Demand Toys here in the UK are brilliant, as any order over £50 is free post, and it's 24 hours. So this was actually only got sent out yesterday it is now the 17th of July. So it was released. It got sent out yesterday on the 16th, and by half it's literally turned up like 5 minutes ago, probably even less than that. And I just thought get the review straight on. So first impressions, as always, guys, we're looking at the box first. Fantastic artwork both there and there. This guy looks really interesting, very beastie like. Technically a triple changer, technically. He has 12 steps from robot to Centaur, and then from Centaur to Griffin sort of mode. It looks like that is very sort of like a Griffin sort of icon. So I would say most likely like a Griffin, some sort of like, yeah. And on the back, on the side, sorry, we have the Muriel. So let's get Megatronus. We still have his box here. And yeah, there we go. That's a bit more of the Muriel complete. And I think we had, yeah, that's the Superion one. I suppose if we have it, it's not quite compatible with the Superion. And of course, as we already know, the other ones are a bit too small. But yeah, we've got two leader class now. So I imagine it's probably going to be the next two leader class, which will probably be next year. We'll have the complete thing. Anyway, on the back we have the product shots of them into, yeah, he's like Centaur mode, and then like the Griffin mode, as well as what I really like about this weapon here is that it also looks like a crossbow, or a bow and arrow sort of thing. I do like that. I think that's a really cool use of it. Again, this is probably my least anticipated mode. However, I do like the Centaur mode, I think. I don't know what Nathan's going to think. I have said to Nathan he can give his view on at the end. So anyway, that is the box. Let's get the figure open. And here we have Onyx Prime. Already, I really do like this guy. Very impressed with him. Love the head sculpt. It is almost like he's wearing like a helmet sort of thing, like he's in battle armor rather than his actual full head. Brilliant sculpting all over the place. Really like this guy. I think he just, I don't know. It's hard to say. There's something about him. He looks powerful. You know, you can tell he's, well, I suppose, like you say, he's a beast former, isn't he? Really, he's a beast machine sort of thing. Like, you know, you can imagine like the Maximals. Are probably from. He's probably like that sort of thing, like the Maximal sort of thing, Maximum Predacons sort of ancestor. Yeah, I love him. I think he looks great. Maybe the color palette's a bit dull, but that would be really nitpicking. I know when looking at the original, like some of the original artwork, he was like almost like a dragon. So I did think he was going to be a Legacy Evolution, Dragon Megatron retool. Clearly not. This guy seems like all the other primes, really, like a new mold. So he comes with this really nice staff, which tabs into his hand. You might see it there. So it doesn't quite, I mean, I don't know if you can get him to close. Yeah, it closes. It comes a bit loose then, but yeah, it's meant to, let's take it out. Let's have a quick look at that. you know, nice enough, nicely sculpted. Not too much detail on there. Like the back's unpainted, but that's not a big deal really. Again, so this is just the tab. Yeah, just tabs in there. I'm just trying to see if there's a way in which you can have it tabbed in and closed. No, so his hand is sort of always open when he has this in. Again, that's a little disappointing, if you're being honest. You want him to be sort of, his tail isn't attached. Sorry, it really stuttered there. And it tabs on to here at the bottom, so you just sort of like click it in there. So you lift this part up, click that in, and then I think that looks a bit daft, so I'll sort of put it out a bit more so it looks more like an actual tail rather than just something hanging down. But yeah, that is pretty cool. So let's move on to articulation. Okay, so with articulation, I'm not expecting too much difference from your standard articulation. We have the ball joint. Arms can go out. They don't do a full 360 because of the wings, but the wings do go back. There we go. So then you do have a bit of wing articulation there. Do they stretch out? Yeah, and they stretch out there. Do they stretch out at this bottom one? No, they don't, but they do fold in and out. Oh, there we go. That was me being a bit rough on that one, to be fair. We have the swivel. Is that a swivel? A swivel above the elbow, as well as an elbow joint. We do have a full wrist swivel, and the hands do open and close pretty well. You know, they don't fully open. They fully open out, but they don't fully close into a fist, a full closed fist. But that's okay because he needs something to hold his weapon. These obviously move up it so you can get decent shoulder articulation. Does he have a swivel? Oh, being a bit rough here, aren't I? And things are just pegging out very easily. Yeah, he can turn at the... He does have like a swivel there. Legs kick out. Legs kick back. And of course, they kick forward. We don't have a swivel above the knee. The knee joint is kind of a bit backwards. Okay, so we've got that sort of going on. We do have an ankle joint, ankle tilt, and that is it. Again, can't really say that there's a massive... that I expected anything different, really. You know, it's standard, modern Transformer articulation, which is good. Not a bad thing. It's just there's nothing out there that's going to really be different. There's nothing going like, oh my god, look at this, they put this in. It's more of a thing when there isn't something there. But yeah, that is articulation. So let's get on to size comparisons. So naturally, the first comparison we're going to do is with Megatronus, who is also leader class. Again, look at that. He really sort of like, he looks like he'd really go toe to toe with Megatronus. I won't even say Megatronus is that much wider. In fact, I'd probably say they're about the same. He's a little bit chunkier, but not much. I think he'd handle his own if these two were to throw down. Next, we have him with Voyager Primer, who, again, you know, he looks pretty decent within there. With Voyager class Vector Prime, again, looking pretty decent now. I think they go quite well together. And finally, we have him, well, I say finally, we also have him with the Alchemist and Solus Prime figures, which are both obviously deluxe class. Here he is with Titan class Star Optimus Prime. Here he is with Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. And the final comparison, here he is with Legacy United Tiger Hawk, who is also a leader class, as well as, I'm sure it's Legacy Evolution, correct me if I'm wrong, or Legacy, I can't remember which one it was, it's been that long ago. Dragon Megatron, who I mentioned before previously, I thought this was going to be a retool of. But of course, both from a leader class, so I thought that'd be a nice little comparison there. I will be comparing their beast modes to his beast mode. I won't be comparing all the other vehicles as it is quite late and I want to get this review out. And plus, I think it's a bit daft comparing vehicles and beasts Whereas with these, it will be beasts and beasts sort of thing, sort of comparison. So we will move on to that after we've done transformation. So to start off transformation into Centaur mode, first we lift up these two legs and we move the arms more into a central place. Oh, like so. We then move the legs out like this and lift here. Next, we move his legs up, so almost like in a sitting position. We then turn him around this way, bring this up here like so, and then turn him back around, so he's facing this way. It looks like we put this section back like so. His tail has fallen off there, but we can always reattach that in a moment. Once like that, we're going to bring these, oh dear, coming off. I have found this a lot with these primes. Their pegs seem to come off quite, their mushroom pegs seem to come off quite easy. So now we're just going to turn that, just maneuver that around. There we go. So now he's, as you can see, he's starting to take shape now into his centaur form. We then move his arms back like so. We can now start to open up his wings. Just make sure he's getting the right stance. There we go. I'm just going to put that back down there now, and then we apparently lift him up a bit and we can flick up his head so it goes more into his battle, like sort of like mask mode, doesn't it? It's like a mask. He's a little bit wonky where put his legs out a bit more. Trying to just get him to stand in a way in which he can. And that is the base of his mode, but we're not finished quite yet, as his tail is also his bow and arrow. So let's try and get this open now. Again, this is going to be an absolute nightmare for me to open, I bet. Oh, this just folds. You can see, there we go. Yeah. That folds out like so. There we have the notch, of course, which that is going to, I assume, that will tab in there. Let's open up his hands and get that in. Okay. And then you can then attach this on to here in some way. Onto there. So there is a part there for this to tab into. So let's just see if we can. Did it go on there? No, that's short. That can't be right. No, because that'd be going like that. Let's have a quick look. Is it on the other side? Sorry. Silly me. It is on the other side. It's on the more molded side. Again, looking pretty nice, that actually. You know, it's a tail slash bow and arrow slash crossbow. You just spin that around a little bit. So then that just notches onto there like so. And then you can, put it in there like that. And there we have him in his Centaur mode. So let's have a quick rundown of him in his Centaur mode. I will be bringing in the size comparison when he's in his full beast mode with the other ones. Well, actually, I might do that in a second, actually. No, I will do. I'll do a size comparison with the other two in a minute. I do like the sort of battle mask. Yeah, I do like that. This is a bit weak. Not keen on that. I think it looks a bit naff, really. I think it'll look better when it's in the crossbow mode, but right now that does look a bit naff. Doesn't look a great deal. I do like the overall figure though. I like the the forelegs. I like that the Centaur feel. Let's have a quick size comparison. So here he is in Centaur mode with both Megatron, who is Legacy, not Legacy Evolution, Legacy, and Legacy United Tigerhawk, both in their beast modes. Yeah, he's quite comparison really. You know, he's a bit shorter than Megatron, who's, you know, quite long, but he's taller than Tigerhawk, as you can see there. Yeah, and I like both of these two guys anyway, so this is quite a good size comparison. Let's move on to transformation into his Griffin mode. Let's call it that. So to start off with transformation, we just put his head back into this cavity here, like so. We then take this section and move it up and over his face. Once again, his arms come back into the middle of the box, like so. I'm just going to close his fists on that one, so he looks relatively like that. Okay, more central. There we go. Next, you lift his arms up like this, and we're going to make sure that they're facing, that they're turning, so that they're completely. So this section must be facing out. So again, we'll do it here. So he's sort of like this. We then turn his hands, so they become almost like feet, and then they sort of detach like so. So it should be looking a bit like this. Then we're going to fold them so they look a bit like paws in a way. So he's like sort of bent like so, almost like a dog getting ready to beg for some food. We then turn him around to the back and we sort of, just double check now, 1 sec. So yeah, you do, he's just a bit stiff, that's all. So we put his legs up, bend them back so they'll look a bit, well, I think we also can put them down a bit so they're a bit more crunched up. We then compress them a bit more so they're more against the knee, like so. So put it back there so you can sort of see where we're going with this. We then turn him back around and we put these ones out like this. It's kind of like a horse almost, like at the moment. So we're getting there, we are getting there. We then make sure that these wings are more so folded in like so, compressing, well, not compressing down, yeah, folded in, folded back in. So now we're going to bring this sort of around like that, and yeah, we are definitely now starting to see where this is going. We're getting there. So now we bring these forward a bit, and we can sort of start positioning the legs so that he's got his 6 feet. Is that right? Or we can put his hands out a bit more so they're more like paws sort of thing. And we put these down like so. We then bring down the head. That just sort of like a little click there. I think we can bring down these as well, I think. This is when you will also take the bow. Let's just take the bow off. Close this again, and again put it down here on the back for his tail. And I believe that might be it. Doing that. Oh, you can take his staff, and it looks like we attach this there. Is that right? Yep. And then we take the other peg. There should be a section on the back here. Yeah, there it is, right there on his backside. Ow. I've got a very sore thumb at the moment. But yeah, you know what's going on there. Let me just get that on there. Sorry, I was putting it on completely wrong. So this will peg onto this part and then peg onto here. No wonder he wouldn't get it on properly, because it was not, I wasn't doing it right. It will peg on. It just needs a bit of force. There we go. And Yeah, same we can do something else with these legs. I'm not too sure what it means. I'll have a quick look at the instructions in a minute, but all in all, that is pretty much the Griffin mode. He can open up his mouth. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else there is. So there is a mode on the instructions on here where it looks like you can fold away the second set of these middle legs if you don't like them, which I suppose is pretty cool. I think he looks all right. I think he looks all right with the six legs, but you can sort of fold them away. Does he have 6 legs on the box art? He does have 6 legs on the box art, so that is a valid mode. If you're thinking, I can't be bothered doing that. If Alpha Primus can't be bothered, neither can I. It is a valid mode. It's on the box art. Therefore, it is valid. And there we have him in his Griffin mode. So, a quick look at his Griffin mode. I do like the head. I think it looks a little bit simple. Again, it's not a bad mode. It's probably the weakest of the 3. I'd probably say Centaur or regular robot mode are probably the stronger 2. Me, probably Centaur. I think that's a bit because it makes him look a bit unusual, a bit different. Whereas this kind of looks like a really rubbish version of Tigerhawk, if I'm being brutally honest. Speaking of which, let's bring Tigerhawk in there. He also seems a little bit off. It's like he's slightly wonky somehow, and I'm just trying to figure out. There we go. It's just, yeah, he was slightly off. Quick size comparisons. Let's put the wings up on them. You know, both of them, really. We can do both of them. Tigerhawk's there going, nope, I'm going to fall down. Tigerhawk probably just about shades it in terms of like wings stood up mode. Yeah. In terms of beast mode, I would probably say Tigerhawk is the better one. But I'm thinking robot mode, I think I prefer this one. Of course, we're going to bring in good old Megs. Let's get him in the shot there. Yeah, it's okay. Overall, I think it is a good figure. I like it. I think he's a decent price. He's a decent leader class figure, and I really like it. That is all we're going to have time for today. I was going to get Nathan's opinion on it, but in fact, wait 1 minute. Nathan doesn't want to give his final thoughts, so scrap that. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We have. Let's move Megatron. I didn't fully transform him because it's a pain, but yeah, I just wanted a quick size comparison. Overall, a strong one, another strong Prime. I think his bot mode is definitely stronger. Let's just get Megatronus in here just for another quick comparison, along with Primer. Yeah, I like him. I think he's a really good figure. I think he's definitely worth the price. He's definitely a leader class worthy. It's not one of those where it's like, oh, it should be this price. It should be. I think he sort of fits it well. Triple changer beast. Yeah, I kind of get it. I do like the Centaur mode. I think that's more of a bonus mode rather than because there's not much difference between the robot. It's sort of like a halfway, isn't it? Whereas like with a normal triple changer, there's 3 very distinct modes. Like with Blitzwing, he's either a plane or a tank. There's no in between like flying tank sort of thing. Whereas with this one, you can say he's more of a beast. I'd say he's more of a beast transformer than a triple changer relative. Maybe we'll get that in one of the other primes. You know, one of them could be the origin of the triple changers. I know we've got Micronus, who's going to be the sort of like first mini-con sort of thing. I would definitely say he's a beast. We have the Decepticons, we have the Autobots, and we have a few other bits and bops there. Overall, great figure. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please like, comment, and give your thoughts on this guy. Are you getting him? Are you not getting him? Are you on the fence with him? He's currently available quite easily. I know he's in stock in demand toys in the UK and most other specialist retailers. I don't know what his availability is like in America, but I think he's overall good. I think he's a really strong figure. Is he better than Megatronus? I really liked Megatronus. Probably just a little bit under, but not far off. I'd say in terms of like rank out of these two, I probably would go with Megatronus more because he looks cool. He just looks menacing. This guy looks very, I suppose, majestic. So it's two very different looks, two very different styles, but really much strong. One of the stronger of the primes, you know, as we know with the others, especially in the vehicle modes, they can be a bit iffy and joints popping off. I know a joint popped off on this guy, but that was more me being rough than it actually being a quality thing. Overall, strong addition to the primes. And I think the next two is Alpha Trion and Micronus, and then we are done for the 2025, and we'll have to get the rest in 2026. There is the cat trying to get in. He is desperate to get in. Hello, cat. You are now on YouTube. Oh, he don't like that. All right. Anyway, again, thank you everyone for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.